what we just watched and learned, all right? So, to your seats. You got 5 comic cash for that seat?
Yes,
You
I
do?
think so.
Wait, but 5 pounds, that's a seat?
Yeah, just sit in that seat. You gotta pay me.
Not often.
Otherwise, it's $5.
All right. So let's talk. The thin green line. What'd you learn? Talk about number 1. Frogs have been living on this planet for more than what? How many million years? Go ahead, Aiden.
250.
Yeah, 250 million years, and over the centuries evolved into some of the most wondrous and diverse creatures on Earth. Okay, that was the first one.
That item in front of starving orphans.
Sour Patch.
If a child eats a Sour Patch Kid, is it cannibalism?
Let me see what I'm doing.
I mean, it
Just
depends on what kind
call
of
the kid
cannibalism.
Sour Patch.
So online students, you should have completed this using Cami. We're gonna go over it, and you can still edit it while I'm doing it. Okay.
Ready? You still have that?
Oh boy. All right. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Why is this doing this?
I don't even think I did.
Why is this taking so long?
I don't know either.
Thank you.
Maybe you can copy your data down.
All right. So the first one, 250 million years, right? Longer than humans. Crazy.
No. 250, not 245.
Yep.
Wait, how long have humans been on this earth then? Like 100? I thought when. Yeah, never mind.
Those since like 800.
Like 5 million-ish years. Depends on who you
Humans
ask.
were created 5 million years ago.
5 million-ish years. It's different if you're talking about Homo sapiens and Homo
Well, I'm
erectus.
talking about Adam and Eve. They don't exist.
That was
I mean, maybe neurons,
exist.
but.
So, oh my gosh, why does this take so long?
Spinny wheel.
Why does this do
I'm
this?
not a Jehovah's Witness. There's a Jehovah's Witness. I'm not a Jehovah's Witness.
Whatever you want to do is what you want to do, man. It's not something that we need to.
And me, yeah. I've been a Lutheran more. Parker, when he was
Oh
born, he was
my
Lutheran.
God. Ooh, 200,000 years ago, Homo sapiens emerged.
When did we
Let's talk
evolve
about-
from
When did orphans become a thing?
When their parents left them.
No, what year?
You guys and your edgy humor. That's, yeah.
Looks like
That's not. I'm being honest. I'm not even trying to be edgy.
No.
That's when orphans were invented.
Yeah.
When their parents died. Or
Why
when.
does the skull makes it look like
You got me, guys.
it's where it's
All right, Homo erectus, upright man. Ooh, 2 million years ago to about 100,000 years ago. And then a lot of evolution took place in between that. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, off topic again. Shocker. All right. Now we talked about Central America. We are in the country of Panama. Maybe you've heard of the Panama Canal.
I have.
First locale, the tropical mountain cloud forest. What is the problem? What's the cause of the problem? And what frog species are being affected? Let's start. Who knows what frog species we were talking about? Yeah,
Wasn't there a bullfrog?
that was the invasive one, right?
Oh, the invasive one.
Yeah, we were talking about which one was being effective. Go ahead, being affected. Julia. The golden frog is what I have. Yeah,
Golden
remember?
frog.
Golden frog. What did you say? Golden frog. What's the cause of the problem? Also, there was more than just the golden frog. There was like all species in this. So which one did you say? Mountain, yellow, naked. Lichen.
Lichen.
Lichen?
Lichen.
Lichen? I still can't hear you.
Lichen. L-A-K-E.
That's late.
Legged.
Legged.
Oh, legged.
Yellow-legged.
Oh,
Legged.
Raise your.
Okay, and then basically all species. Did anybody have another name of a species?
What do you think from?
The problem with the fungus then, or the disease.
Basically all species are being affected.
What's
Or the
into,
cause of problems, frogs dying, like which species are affected a lot of species.
what was that one that
I got it. What's it called? It's called like.
Okay, what's the problem?
There's a certain kind of bacteria. Some.
Ava?
Isn't it called chytrid or something?
Yes. The problem is the chytrid, and this is how you spell it. Chytrid. Chytrid fungus. The fungus kills frogs. There are no tadpoles, right? Remember she was walking through there? Frogs are in the middle of the food chain. What does that do? Yeah.
So like if something in the middle of the food chain were to die,
Yep.
it would basically affect the entire food chain.
This affects the entire food chain of this locale. And really the ecosystem. Remember she was walking through the stream, what happened? Or what did she notice about the stream?
There were barely any frogs.
Definitely, but what did that affect her? How did that affect her? Yeah.
It was very quiet and she didn't hear anything.
Quiet, sure. What else? Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of algae or more algae on the rocks.
Made it a lot more slippery, right? Because there was no algae on the rocks. What eats algae?
Tadpoles.
Tadpoles. There you go. So this not only affects the entire food chain, but it also affects the ecosystem. So you can see how just losing one part of the food chain can affect the ecosystem. All right, let's go to B, the second locality, EVAC or EVACC, El Valle Amphibian Conservation Center. What is happening here? What are they trying to accomplish? Can you name the species that are being saved? What are they doing here, Julia? Get rid of what? Getting rid of the chytrid. Okay, so at EVAC, they're isolating frogs that have the chytrid fungus. Trying to get rid of it, right? They are. What else are they doing there? At this place, what were the frogs doing? And what were the people doing? What's that? Breeding, yes. They are attempting to breed endangered frog species, right? So they can make more of them, reintroduce them. Anybody know any of the species that they had there?
Yes.
Julia again.
Corn tree frogs.
Say that again.
Corn tree frogs.
Corn tree frogs? The golden frog was another one. Anybody else have one that they knew? Horned?
Yeah.
Horned. One of these days, I'm going to hear Julia on the first time she says something. I'm going to open my ears. Listen up, Mr. Dayton. Okay, horned tree frogs, golden frogs, several tropical species, I'll say.
I remember one was like the front back and the one that's like the changing gender. What about
We'll talk about that.
The male.
Hey, Adam. You know what day it is today? Tuesday, the 20th. 29th. The 20th.
Hey.
Tuesday, 20th. You know what yesterday was?
All right, let's move on. Next one. We are moving on to number 3. Where are we? We're in the United States of America. We are at the western state of California. We're in Yosemite National Park. Anyone ever been to Yosemite?
No.
I've been there. It's pretty cool. What have scientists discovered here? Are there any similarities to Panama? What species of frog is being studied here? What have they discovered here? Let's start. Aiden, what do you got?
It's starting to come from like higher in the sky from all the dense air.
Perfect. Oh, it's a mountain yellow lake frog. What am I talking about? There you go. So say that again, Aiden. Sorry.
It's coming down from like all the tilt.
What is coming down?
The
Chytrid? Okay.
chytrid, it's coming down from like all the cold dense air from the mountains, and it's coming down towards the frogs.
From the cold, dense air up by the mountains. So yes, that is similar to Panama, right? Because of what? Right here. What thing am I highlighting?
Oh,
The chytrid fungus, right? That's something you should have seen in both places now. Okay, what else happened here? Yeah,
Was it the change of gender frogs?
what's that?
The frogs that were changing gender.
Not here. No, how about what else was introduced here in Yosemite that is affecting the population of the frogs? Yeah,
So that's affecting the population there, the bullfrogs, right?
nope, not here. Yeah, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Trout were brought in to Yosemite and have eaten frogs. The frog being studied here is the mountain. This is the one that Julia was saying to me earlier.
Frogs actually have these.
Mountain yellow lake frog.
Ooh, that's good. What?
Okay, there we go. Any questions on those 3? Okay, move on. Does anybody need more time? All right, we're still in the U.S. We're in eastern state of Connecticut. Obviously California is out west, and this is out east. Okay. East coast of the U.S. What's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on in Connecticut? Uh-oh. Julia! Julia was on the ball. What do you got? Yep. Frogs are growing extra limbs. What else? Yes, right. Male frogs are turning into female frogs. Can't remember the name of the chemical, but it was affecting their sex.
It was like the
What species are being affected here? Yeah. Leopard frogs. Anybody else? Ava?
I think it's the wrong one, but the red one is.
Red-legged. And bullfrogs are being affected here.
what do you think would be your favorite species of frogs?
I don't know.
Poison dirt frog.
I know. If they
All right, next. What complex problems are the frogs facing so close to people's backyards, and how are the frogs responding to these threats? Yeah, Parker.
People are throwing medications in their toilet or using fertilizer, and it's doing stuff to the frogs.
And using fertilizer and pesticides, right? How are they responding to these?
Are they changing genders?
Yeah. And growing extra
Mutation?
limbs.
Frogs are being affected negatively by growing extra limbs. Okay, good. Now we're into down under Australia. The first locale is the Amphibian Conservation Center. What is going on here? What's going on in Australia, mate?
Oh, good, mate. In Australia,
Yeah.
we got poisonous animals all over the place, and the fish are dying.
What do you got, Aiden?
Frogs are dying.
Due to what?
They're just disappearing because of maybe chicken country.
Because of the chytrid fungus. You should have noticed this one throughout. Okay.
I need to write an important message on the board.
Okay.
Ha, nerd.
All right. Why is it important that people continue to try to save these little creatures? Sawyer.
Food chains could be ruined.
Frogs are an important part.
Frogs are dying.
You spell frog.
dying. That's spelled wrong, but how do you spell frog?
We use frogs for medical research, and they are a source of food. Okay.
Yeah, like the frog legs.
Frogs are dying.
Eat the frog.
What do these amphibians offer to humans here on Earth? What do they do for us? Do they provide any ecosystems in which they interact? Last one, Zach. What do you have your Chromebook for? I don't know either. That's not a good answer then. What was it? If you could have.
So last one?
Last one. What do they do? What's the purpose? Why do we care? Who cares? Frogs are dying. Big what?
Oh,
Yeah, what do you got?
like, why are these important?
Yeah.
Because you don't have frogs, you don't have a lot of other things. Like,
Sure. If there are no frogs, there is a chance that other
animals will die out.
animals will become extinct. What else? We mentioned medical research, yes? Okay. We can make medicine. Oh my goodness. Slow again. From the cells. I mentioned that yesterday, actually. Frogs eat bugs, right? Something that helps us out. Frogs are eaten by other animals. All these things are important.
Kill all other animals.
Okay, so what you can do is
Yeah. PHROGS.
turn this in
Frogs.
right here on this stool.
You gotta just do one. Finally.
Hey,
Here comes.
then I need you to have a seat back at your desk. We're gonna be doing some drawing.
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 Are we gonna draw some frogs?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, but
Make sure your name's on it, everybody.
totally.
Frog.
How you know? Why? There's probably a reason why we don't accept frogs.
Save the frogs.
Kill all other animals.
That was work. Wait, where do you go? Oh,
Anonymous.
It's pretty cheap. Why is this such bubbly?
Every single one of us
Utter-
saved a frog.
kill all other animals. Yes. Mr. Mom, I died.
Okay, here we go. So what's gonna happen is, instead of dissecting, we get to draw and talk in detail about frog project study sheet, about the frog anatomy, the internal anatomy of a frog. Okay, this is
Here comes the sun. We're trying to sacrifice John to the sun.
How did it work out?
I need your name at the top. I need the date at the top and your period. That is
What's the period 1 or period 2?
period 1.
Okay.
You are first hour.
Yeah, they're.
Okay, and today we're gonna be talking about the male and female reproductive systems of a frog. This was a popular one for people to dissect because of the similarities between a lot of the systems of the body between frogs and our own. Okay, even
You
though
want us to
they
draw
seem
that?
so different. So first we're gonna talk about A. A is a male reproductive system, B is a female reproductive system. If you flip through this packet, you'll see on the back there is 1 through 37. So we're going to number and label the different organs and functions of them. So let's start with A and B, the male and female reproductive system. You are going to have to work on developing and using models. This is part of your target and your target for today. Number 2, develop and use models. So let's start with the male reproductive system over here. Okay, now we are looking, you have to imagine that you're looking at the inside of a frog, but we've eliminated all other portions of its body. We've eliminated digestive, skeletal. There's no skeleton in here. There's no digestive. There's no excretory. There's no circulatory. Open your eyes, dude. Welcome. All right, it's like you're just looking at the male's reproductive system. Okay, so The fat bodies up at the top, those are, and online students, I'm going to send you this, okay? Those are like located in the middle of the frog's body. So if we were looking at a frog with its stomach and this portion cut open, those are like towards the middle, okay? So up at the anterior end or the top of the male reproductive system for A, you have these finger-like, spaghetti-like, however you want to call them, fat bodies, okay? Not like, oh, it's a fat body. Fat bodies, literal bodies of fat, and there are 2 of them clustered like this. So this is what you could be drawing. And they might get a little. What these are, okay, these fat bodies. They're bodies of fat. What is fat used for? Well, it's an energy reserve, okay? And it's needed in the frog during hibernation as a source of energy to keep them alive, okay? It's also needed in the process of metamorphosis. Okay, what is metamorphosis? Yeah.
When it like shows. Wait, no. Isn't that when it like changes from tadpole to like
Yep,
tadpole
absolutely.
to frog?
Tadpole the frog. Okay, this is a source of energy during metamorphosis. It's also needed in hibernation, like I said, and mating. Okay, some energy comes from this fat body. Okay.
What's your name? What's the one in the middle there?
We're gonna get right now. All right, so it's also used in mating, the energy it needs for mating. Fat is a source of, can be used as a source of energy and can be burned off, just like it can be in humans. Okay, so those are the fat bodies. Then you have below them, oh, sorry, and if you look at a frog, these fat bodies will be orangish, yellowish in color. Okay, then below them you have the testes for the male. Testes is the plural form of that. T-E-S, T-E-S. T-E-S, T-E-S. Okay, they're attached to the fat bodies. They are a bean-shaped structure. Okay, and those are typically yellowish or tan. Okay. I'm coloring it in. I only have red up here.
Keep going.
That looks like a pomegranate.
Sure.
No pomegranate.
Okay, in the testes, sperm cells, the male gamete is created. Just like in you or other animals that reproduce sexually. Okay, sperm cells are created, spermatozoa are created. And this is what is needed to fertilize frog eggs, just like in humans, okay? A sperm needs to fertilize the egg of a woman in order to have a baby. Okay? Yes.
Nobody said something about pomegranates. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that teacher like absolutely screaming at her,
Yes.
screaming at her class, saying, "No pomegranate, whatever. That's my one rule. No pomegranate." I'm gonna beat her with a pomegranate.
Yes, I have. Okay. Then, so you have your fat bodies.
No pomegranate.
Online students, you should just be drawing this in your science notebook. So, and you have your testes. All right. Then, coming from your testes, you have tubes. These tubes are known as seminal vesicles. And the way I like to think about it is vesicles looks very close to vehicles, but these vesicles serve as the tube or the duct where the sperm is stored until it needs to be pushed out during copulation and released. Okay? So sperm is stored here. Then you have down here a tube-like structure.
Oh,
You'll see it drawn a couple different ways. Called the cloaca.
I think I'll bounce it. Oh, guaca, man.
The cloaca, all right?
Oh, guaca. Hey, Ed. Hey, man, what is
And what the cloaca is, it serves as an exit cavity for the sperm. Okay, so that's where the sperm will come out during copulation. Okay, now it also, the cloaca is where urine is excreted and also fecal matter. Fecal matter is what?
Is it?
Poop,
Is that what
right?
it's-
Yeah, fecal matter. All right, so everything comes out of one thing in a frog, unlike in your body. Okay.
Frogs don't give you worms, right? Like, it's just like
Yeah,
a hoax
no.
thing.
Okay, so that's the male. You can,
Yeah. they just show
well,
you like this.
so I would say fat bodies could be number 1. If you wanted to do that on the back, because the females also have fat bodies. Let's go over to the female reproductive system. Okay, let's go to the female reproductive system. All right. The couple things that you need to know, there are fat bodies again. Okay. So you have your spaghetti-like, finger-like structures. Kind of looks like a tuft of hair on the trolls. Something like that. I don't know.
It's Paw Patrol? Paw Patrol.
No, I said trolls.
Did Paw Patrol get
Okay.
canceled for a black police officer?
Attached to a female's fat bodies, you'll see below are egg sacs, or more well, I guess the more scientifically you could call them are ovaries. Okay, and those are literally what they are named. Sacs for eggs. And they, when they are full of eggs, can be huge and full of like hundreds of eggs. So if you want to mark these with eggs, that'd be
Not
great.
all of them hatch though, right?
They all, if they are fertilized by the sperm, then they should turn into a tadpole, unless they're eaten or hurt or yeah, something else goes wrong.
Frogs can't get C-sections though, because there's not a frog doctor.
Great point. Okay, those tubes on the side there you see, they will connect to the ovary, but they start up here, and they really get twisty. Okay, looks somewhat similar, but a little more twisty than the seminal vesicles of the male frog. And up here is another structure, but we won't talk about that one.
Is this supposed to be 3D? Oh.
You can do it however you feel is necessary.
Well, they have to change.
But remember, we're working on being able to draw and develop a model.
I'll have you
These are
know.
pretty nice models.
And
My 3D.
these tubes are called oviducts. Okay, now they serve as ducts or tubes for ova. Ova is a fancy word for eggs. Okay, ova means egg, it's Latin for egg. And down here, you'll never guess what they also have.
The
Yep, the cloaca.
Chloe.
Okay, and that serves as an exit cavity for the eggs. The eggs come out, They get fertilized by the sperm of the male during the amplexus. We talked about that yesterday. I'm sure you heard that, or actually while you went home and studied. Okay, and also that is where poop and pee comes out of for the frog. Pretty crazy, right? The poop and pee out of the same. Yes, birds, yep. Birds also have cloaca. So they poop and pee out of the same. Yep. So male and female reproductive systems. Tomorrow, not tomorrow, not Thursday, not Friday. You will be testing.
Great.
But we'll get further into the body systems of them. You can start labeling these with numbers if you'd like. So let's say you want to make the fat bodies number 1, because fat bodies occur in both male and female. All right. You could make the testes number 2. You could make the seminal vesicles number 3. You could make the cloaca number 4. The cloaca happens in both. You could make the egg sac 5 and oviduct 6. But you're kind of labeling these, and you got to come up with the functions and do that as well. Okay? So we talked about the male and female reproductive system of the frog today. Please keep that. Make sure your name's on it. Put it in a folder so that you have it. It's going to be a big to-do. Actually, I don't know. Should I collect them from you?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I'll collect them. And then you can head out.
Bye, Dayton. I'll see you.
Next week.
Oh, wait.
Unless I have you for.
Give me a second.
Unless I have you for IE.
You did not have me for ID. I missed it.
I'm Mrs. Hanson.
Oh, you're lucky there.
I'm lucky.
All right. Bye, Mr. Dog. Sorry.
Yeah, I missed Friday.
I'm gonna be a boy.
Thank you. Have a good day, Mr. Dayton.
You too.
Wait, this is what I'm going to be seeing, so have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too, man.